नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया. A very good morning to you all. Myself, JVN Dr. Ravi Jain, Assistant Professor, Department of Practice of Medicine, and Faculty of Homeopathic Science at Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis is a life-threatening and systemic hypersensitivity reaction to contact with an allergen. It may appear within minutes of exposure to the offending substance. Manifestations include respiratory distress, pruritus, urticaria, mucous membrane swelling, GI disturbances including nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and diarrhea, and vascular collapse. It is potentially life-threatening systemic allergic reaction that is characterized by circulatory collapse, bronchospasm, laryngeal stridor, and often associated with angioedema and urticaria. It is caused by the release of histamine and the other vasoactive mediators from the mast cells. The risk of death is increased in patients with pre-existing asthma, particularly if this is poorly controlled, and in individuals in whom treatment with adrenaline or epinephrine is delayed. Etiology. Anaphylaxis it occurs when an allergen binds to and cross-links membrane-bound IgE on the mast cells in a susceptible individual, causing release of histamine, tryptase, and other vasoactive mediators from the mast cells. These mediators have a variety of effects, including vasodilatation, increased capillary permeability, leading to hypotension and bronchoconstriction. Now, there are various common causes of the systemic allergic reactions. Anaphylaxis, IgE-mediated mast cells degranulation. We have various food material like peanuts, tree nuts, fish and shellfish, milk, eggs, and soya products. There are various insect stings like bee venom, wasp venom. There are certain chemicals, drugs, and other foreign proteins like intravenous anesthetic agents like succinylcholine, penicillin, and other antibiotics, latex. We have anaphylactoid or non-IgE mediated mast cell degranulation. This is anaphylactoid, looking like anaphylaxis and not anaphylaxis. There are certain drugs like aspirin and non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs, that is NSAIDs. We have opiates, radio contrast media. We have physical factors like exercise and cold. There are various idiopathic factors with where there is no cause is identified in 20% of the patients with anaphylaxis. Clinical assessment of anaphylaxis. The clinical features of anaphylaxis and anaphylactoid reactions are indistinguishable. It is important to assess the severity of the reaction and the time between the allergen exposure and the onset of symptoms provides a guide. Enquiry should be made about potential triggers. If none is immediately obvious, a detailed history of the previous 24 hours may be helpful. Now, the clinical features of mast cell degranulation, the mediator and the biological effect. In the first condition, when there is preformed and stored within the granules, the histamine is the mediator. The effects are vasodilatation, chemotaxis, bronchoconstrictions, increased capillary permeability, and increased mucus secretion. Next, we have tryptase, that is bronchoconstriction activates complement C3. We have eosinophil chemotactic factor with eosinophil chemotaxis and neutrophil chemotactic factor with neutrophil chemotaxis. It is synthesized on the activation of mast cells. There are various leukotrienes with increased vascular permeability, chemotaxis, mucus secretions, and smooth muscle contraction. There are various prostaglandins with bronchoconstriction, platelet aggregation, and vasodilatation. There are various thromboxanes with bronchoconstrictions, platelet activating factors with bronchoconstriction, chemoxis, axis of the eosinophils and neutrophils. The clinical presentation. The time to onset is variable, but the symptoms may usually occur within seconds to minutes of the exposure to the offending antigen. The respiratory symptoms are mucous membrane swelling, hoarseness, stridor, and wheezing. The cardiovascular features include tachycardia and hypotension. The cutaneous features include pruritus, urticaria, and angioedema. These are the clinical features. The clinical features include feeling of impending doom, that is loss of consciousness, angioedema of the lips and mucous membrane. There is laryngeal obstruction or stridor. We can see the wasp sting. There are a lot of cardiac arrhythmias and the symptoms of diarrhea and abdominal pain. In the feet, there is itching of palms, soles, and feet, and genitalia. The other features include conjunctival infection, injection, and flushing, sweating. There can be wheezes and bronchoconstriction. There will be hypotension and urticaria, and also itching in the palms, soles, feet, and genitalia. There are a lot of differential diagnoses. The differential diagnosis that this condition can resemble a lot of other conditions. It can be cause of loss of consciousness, it can be cause of respiratory distress, that can be cause of laryngeal obstruction, cause of generalized flushing, and other causes. If it is cause of loss of consciousness, then we have vasovagal syncope, cardiac arrhythmias, and myocardial infarction. If it is the cause of respiratory distress, we have status asthmaticus. If it is caused by laryngeal obstruction, we have C1 inhibitor deficiency, idiopathic angioedema. If it is caused by generalized flushing, we have systemic mastocytosis and carcinoid syndrome. And the other causes include pheochromocytoma. Now we come to the investigations. Obtaining history of exposure to offending substances with subsequent development of the characteristics complex symptoms. The measurement of serum mast cell tryptase concentration is useful to confirm the diagnosis, but cannot distinguish between anaphylaxis and non-IgE mediated anaphylactoid reactions. There are specific IgE tests that may be useful in confirming hypersensitivity and may be preferable to skin prick test when investigation in patients with a history of anaphylaxis. Now we come to the management of anaphylaxis. Mild symptoms such as pruritus and urticaria can be controlled by administration of epinephrine. Epinephrine provides both alpha and beta adrenergic effects, resulting in vasoconstriction and bronchial smooth muscle relaxation. Antihistamines such as diphenhydramine and nebulized albuterol or aminophylline for bronchospasm. Oxygen with endotracheal intubation or tracheostomy for progressive hypoxemia, and glucocorticoids help in alleviating later recurrence of hypotension, bronchospasm, or urticaria. Now the emergency management of anaphylaxis, the treatment and the comment. The treatment is to prevent further contact with the allergen, and it prevents ongoing mast cell activation. We have to ensure airway patency to prevent hypoxia. Administer adrenaline or epinephrine promptly, and intramuscular route is important because the peripheral vasoconstriction. It acts within minutes, increases vascular blood pressure, and reverses bronchospasm. Administer antihistamines. Antihistamines blocks the effect of histamine on the target cells. Administer glucocorticoids. It reduces cytokine release and prevents rebound symptoms in severe cases. To provide supportive treatment, it reverses bronchospasm, restores plasma volume, and reverses hypoxia. Now the prevention. Avoidance of the offending antigen wherever possible. Skin test and desensitization to materials such as penicillin and Hymenoptera venom. And if necessary, the individual should wear the informational bracelet and have immediate access to the expired epinephrine kit. So this was all about this topic today. In the next lecture, we will be discussing about angioedema. This session was powered by Digital Version 2.0, Jyoti Vidya Performance University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box and I'll try to resolve it. So this was all for today. Thank you very much. We will be meeting in the next lecture tomorrow.